Hi everyone, this is Katie Papke with Life Support, Counseling and Coaching. Today's video is a shout out to all my friends in the recovery community. As you know, this is a stressful time and normal coping skills can be with our drug of choice. If not, maybe a replacement. Are you stress eating? I know I was yesterday. Then I had to realize what I was doing. This is not going to help me, especially stress eating. To me, I have a history of binge eating. And I've been in recovery from substance abuse, alcohol for 19 years. And so it's really easy for me to slip right back into old behaviors or impulsive behaviors like spending, we just became isolated here in Michigan for the stay at home, and some of us can still work and others not. Tomorrow I'm going to address working problems, working concerns. But as far as my recovery community goes, we need to stay diligent. I understand that making contact with our sponsors or our recovery network is really important, whether that's over these Zoom meetings or Google Hangouts or just kind of doing some video, calls. Those will be really helpful. For me, I did a Zoom meeting Saturday, and although it was a little awkward, I realized I really still needed that face-to-face connection. That face-to-face connection, even though it's over a video, is just so important. I felt like I was still staying in contact with the people I needed to stay in contact with for my own recovery. It also seemed to benefit them as well. Another thing that I suggest is, contacting other people from your home group or groups that you normally attend to, either via social media or text or call, and ask them what they're doing. I understand that sometimes local groups are doing outdoor meetings, all sitting 6 feet apart. I think that's a great idea. You have to take care of number one. You have to go back to those basics. Remember, HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Take care of those basic needs. I wanted to read to you a reading today from the book Easy Does It. I really felt like this was really speaking from the heart of where I can relate to. It's labeled Courage. It says, God, help me to remember that nothing is going to happen to me today that you and I together can't handle. And that's by Anonymous. Courage is what makes us do the right thing even when nobody else is doing it. We can find happiness while surrounded by darkness. We can be loving in the middle of hate and envy, and serene when surrounded by chaos, fear, and anger. The principles of our program help us face impossible odds. We learn that any act of courage may produce future victory for ourselves and others. The courage that we want takes its strength from faith, not from bribery or physical strength. Next page. Foolish, unthinking courage, though, can be destructive to us or to others. Sensible courage never fails because it is made up of truth and faith. Let truth and faith give me courage so that when fear knocks, no one is there. I really enjoyed that reading. I agree that if you've been in recovery, either when you started working the 12 steps or you've been in recovery for a long time, it really is true where it talks about the principles of the program help us face impossible odds. Think of that. There is a principle behind every 12th step in recovery. And for me, I attend AA meetings, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I think AA is the only path to recovery. I am big on whatever it takes because this is a disease that wants to kill us. It is so easy to just cope with some medications. What I am warning you about is because of this pandemic, it can really result in the need for feeling anxiety and control. So anxiety can result in you contacting your doctor and thinking, hey, I really need those benzos. That will make me feel better. Think again. Getting addicted to benzos in recovery is not a good idea. Getting, addicted to any kind of drug that is a controlled substance even though it's prescribed by your doctor, it can be really difficult to, come back from in recovery. Those pills talk to us. They really do. They tell us that take me, even when you don't need the pill. If sleep problems are an issue, talk to your doctor about an alternative medication for sleep and anxiety other than a controlled substance. Ambien is addicting, but stuff like alternative medications such as hydroxyzine, palmoate, even though I'm not a doctor, I work with medications all the time. There's glorified Benadryl, and those are really helpful to take just for anxiety and for sleep problems. But again, you have to go through your doctor to get these medications. On that note, your doctor can also, talk to you over the phone about some options for anxiety that might be getting out of control too. And of course, you can watch these videos. Please feel free to subscribe and like them so you can follow along. The other thing is control. Usually, individuals in recovery have some need of control that brings us all together, and therefore, when it comes to a feeling of a loss of control is when our addictive and impulsive behaviors really will kick in. This is something that we have to be diligent about. Make a list of things that you can control, or look for things that you can control. Somebody like who has an history of binging and purging and eating disorder, impulsive gambling, and shopping. These are the times that these behaviors will really ramp up because, hey, at least I'm not, using drugs or alcohol today. No, what are you doing? You're trying to avoid feelings. So when we want to feel comfortably numb is when we need to reach out to our tools that we used in recovery. Reaching out to somebody in the recovery community, posting online something regarding, the need to feel, some peace and serenity instead of, engaging in these impulsive behaviors. Getting an accountability buddy or your sponsor about, the need or desire to engage in these behaviors is very important. Read some literature, go for a walk, go outside, don't buy snacks or candy that will feed that stress eating. Sorry, I lost my thought there for a moment. I'm not saying, this is all going to be perfect. The world is in crisis. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in crisis. Take care until tomorrow.